The SIforREF pilots are concrete actions for the inclusion of refugees into society and labor market. They are designed and implemented, building on the existing research and stakeholder cooperation within the SIforREF project. And the aim is to conduct these pilots in the 5 partner regions of Parma, Ljubljana, Berlin, Vienna, and Bologna, and then to evaluate the findings. So each of these pilots address a specific challenge in respect to refugee inclusion, have a specific target group, have a specific goal and a specific working approach. The question is, are these pilots effective, and what can we learn? Are these learnings relevant for other stakeholders and policymakers, maybe in overall Central Europe? So I'm glad that today I'm having the opportunity to speak with Stefania Peca from Bologna about the local pilot welfare community management. Stefania, I'm very glad to have you here. Welcome. So would you mind describing me which problem, which challenges and observation does the local pilot in Bologna reacts to?
Yeah, thank you for the opportunity. The pilot in Bologna was focused on finding, observing in a sense in which way asylum seekers and refugees that live in a host project here in Italy, in Bologna in particular, but not just in a host project, feel really included in the society. I mean, in which way they feel part of the territory they live. So what we try to do is to, first of all, research some needs and resources that the territory and the area of the pilot have in order to help them to grow up and to enter in network with asylum seeker and refugees, but also not just for them, but also for the local people that live around these areas.
So your target group are not just the refugees or asylum seekers, but also the overall community in which people are living together?
Yeah, I mean local people, citizens that live in the city, but also social workers and political stakeholders that we met during all the process, because they are a very, very important part and point in all the network that let able people to feel really included in the society.
So you say inclusion into society, that's the overarching goal of the pilot. Can you be more specific what you try to achieve?
Yeah, what we try to do is to develop some community labs. I mean, some moments all together, locals, stakeholders, NGO, and asylum seeker and refugees, thinking in a same point. First of all, of course, when we speak about inclusion and integration of migrant people, we think that the job is one of the first assets in which they need. For that, the most important part of the pilot is about thinking and reflecting on jobs. How you can find a job, but also what kind of specific skills the companies that are in our territories are looking for, in order to create some network also between people and companies.
That's an important aspect. I do agree, but if you're saying you're bringing people together, you bring them in an exchange, how do you measure in the end that your pilot is really contributing, for example, to the inclusion of refugees into the labor market? How do you measure your success?
Yep, of course, what we did is to create a moment in which people can easily speak about this important and complex topic. And what happened is that after the labs, we have a little questionnaire do in order to measure in which way we are contributing to inclusion. And what happened is for the part of asylum seeker and refugees is that the process allowed them to understand better the labor market in the areas in which they live, and for the companies they understood better in which way they can, for example, enter in contact with some NGO in order to have some training with asylum seeker and refugees. So the projects allow people to understand better the very complex network that there is in Italy here about asylum seeker and refugees and the host projects that we are here. And the other important thing that we had is that we create an open network. We are working in a final report of the project in which all the entities, the NGO, the people that we met during the process can enter in a community that can continue also without us, without our mediation. So we allow them to enter in a public database in which the network can grow up also after the project.
Very well. So thank you very much, Stefania, for your introduction and for this interview. All good in the future in this project.
Thank you.